There are two men I want you to hold in your head for the next 15 minutes, because they have the same job. The first one you know. He is world number one. He earned more than $25 million on the course last season, and roughly double that again off it. And when he taps in from 2 feet on a Sunday, the money that moves would fund a small hospital. The second one you have never heard of, and that is the point. He is, conservatively, one of the 400 best golfers alive. Out of 60 million people who play this game, he is better than 59,999,000 of them. Last year, he played the best golf of his life on professional tours with professional courtesy titles, and he lost $28,000 doing it. His sponsor is a car dealership. His caddy is his girlfriend. His hotel, some weeks, is a Honda. Same job title, professional golfer. And the distance between those two men is the strangest economy in all of sport. Because golf is the only major game on earth where you can be among the very best humans who have ever done the thing and go broke doing it. No salary, no contract, no guaranteed anything. Every single week, from the bottom of the sport to the very top, is a business trip taken at your own expense on the chance that you play well enough to cover it. So let's walk the pyramid, floor by floor, and follow the money, because once you see how a golfer actually gets paid, you will never watch a Sunday leaderboard the same way again. The ground floor is the mini tours, and the mini tours run on an economic model that would be illegal in most industries, because the employees pay the employer. Here is how a mini tour event works. 120 professionals show up on a Tuesday to a decent course in Florida or Texas. Each of them hands over an entry fee, somewhere between $400 and $1,200. The tour operator takes their cut off the top, and the rest of the entry money becomes the purse. Read that again. The players are not competing for outside money. They are competing, mostly, for each other's money. A mini tour event is 120 golfers throwing their own cash into a pot and shooting at it. Win, and you might clear 10, 15,000. Finish 20th, and you have made $400 for 4 days of work, before the hotel, before the gas, before the food. Finish 30th, and you paid for the privilege. The math is so brutal that the standard financial plan on the mini tours is a backer, a dentist, an uncle, a syndicate of members from your home club, someone staking your season the way you would stake a boxer, in exchange for a slice of winnings that mostly never come. The average mini tour season costs $30,000 to $50,000 to play. Almost nobody earns that back. It is not a living, it is a lottery ticket that takes a year to scratch, and you buy a new one every January. And every man on that Tuesday tee sheet can genuinely play. That is what civilians never understand. The worst player grinding the mini tours would strip your club champion for parts. These are men who shoot 66 with rent on the line. The gap between them and television is not talent you can see with your eyes. It is 2 shots a week, and 2 shots a week, in this economy, is the difference between a courtesy car and sleeping in one. Floor 2 is the Korn Ferry tour, the official waiting room. And the economics get better and crueler at the same time. Better because there is real outside money now, actual purses, $1 million and up a week, television some Sundays, and a genuine ladder. Finish the season near the top, and you get the only thing anyone here wants, a PGA Tour card. Crueler because the costs scale up right alongside. The Korn Ferry schedule sprawls across the whole continent and beyond, and now you need the flights, the real caddy who costs $2,000 a week before his percentage, the coach, the physio you see when something hurts, which is always. A season out here runs $75,000 to $100,000 in expenses. Miss 10 cuts, and a missed cut everywhere in golf pays exactly the same, 0, and you have spent a teacher's salary to earn nothing, while being roughly the 200th best player of the 60 million. Between the floors, there are 2 staircases, and both of them are casinos. The first is Q School, the qualifying tournament, and it may be the purest pressure cooker in professional sport. You pay an entry fee of several $1,000s for the right to play your way through stages, against everyone else who had the same idea, and the whole architecture funnels down to one final week, where a handful of playing privileges get handed out. 1 week. A year of status decided across a handful of rounds, and every man in the field knows exactly which putt was worth a season of his life. Careers are made at Q School, and the stories from the men who missed by one shot, one lip out, one gust, are among the quietly devastating things in this sport. There are players who went to Q School 15 times. The entry fees alone add up to a used car. Nobody ever calls it gambling because it has a leaderboard. The second staircase is the Monday qualifier, and the numbers deserve to be read slowly. On the Monday before a tour event, a field of somewhere around 130 professionals plays 18 holes for, typically, 4 spots in that week's tournament. 4. 1 round, no second chances, and the scoring required is obscene. Shoot 65 and prepare to lose a playoff for it. The men who chase Mondays drive hundreds of miles for an 18-hole coin flip, and when it misses, and it almost always misses, the week is over by lunchtime, and the car points at the next one. It is the gig economy with a dress code. Now the floor everyone dreams about, the PGA Tour card. And here is where I need you to unlearn what television taught you, because the card is not wealth. The card is admission. What the card actually buys you is the right to enter tournaments where the money is real, and the right to spend like a touring rock band while you chase it, because the invisible payroll follows you up the pyramid, and at this level, it is a staff. The caddy, weekly base plus 5% of everything, 7 for a top 10, 10 for a win. The swing coach, the putting coach, a separate human being. The trainer, the physio, the agent taking his slice of the sponsor money, the accountant untangling taxes from playing in 19 states and 4 countries. A PGA Tour player is a small business with $200,000 a year in fixed overhead, and the business has one product, his own body, and no insurance policy built into the job if the product breaks. And the weeks themselves are still a gamble, because the missed cut does not care what tour you are on. A tour week costs $5,000 to $10,000. Flights, hotels, caddy base, food. Play badly on Thursday and Friday, and you go home Saturday with a bill instead of a check. There are men who have missed 10 cuts in a row at this level. The famous ones talk about it later on podcasts with a laugh. But in the moment, that is $50,000, $80,000 spent to earn $0. While your card, your admission ticket, your entire economic identity bleeds out in public every weekend. And the tour has been shrinking the lifeboat. The card count is being cut from the top 125 to the top 100. The middle class of the best tour on earth just got told the building is getting smaller. So where does the actual money live? 2 places, and neither one is exactly the prize fund. The first is consistency, which sounds boring and is worth millions. Because the purses at the top have gone supernova. The signature events now carry $20 million purses. Last place in the field walks away with 6 figures, and a run of ordinary, unspectacular top 30 golf, the kind nobody makes a highlight reel from, now pays like a Fortune 500 executive. The man who finishes 40th on the money list is invisible to you. He has never once been in your living room on a Sunday. He made 8 figures gross. That is new, and it is the quiet revolution of the last few years. The war with the breakaway league made the stars rich, sure, but its stranger legacy is that it made competence rich. The second place the money lives is the hat. Look at any professional golfer and understand you are looking at a billboard with a pulse, sold by the square inch. The hat is the premium slot. That logo is in every camera shot, on every green, in every interview. And for a star, it alone can be worth more than most purses. Then the chest, the sleeve, the bag, the yardage book cover. For the elite, endorsements are double, triple, 5 times their on-course money. But here is the part that actually matters for our pyramid. Sponsorship is the only flaw insurance this sport has. The journeyman with the strong amateur pedigree keeps his equipment deal and his clothing money through an injured season when he earns nothing inside the ropes. The mini tour player has a car dealership logo and a dream. Same job. One of them has a parachute. One more deduction before we get to the good news. Because the checks on television are gross, not net, and the gap is a canyon. A professional golfer is taxed where he earns, which means a season's income arrives smeared across a dozen plus American states and several countries. each with its own filing, and the accountant who untangles it is not optional and not cheap. Then the caddy's percentage comes off the top of every check. Then the agent's cut of the endorsement money. Then the overhead we already counted. The rule of thumb the players themselves use is that roughly half of what you see on the broadcast graphic ever reaches the man who earned it, and that is in a good, healthy, injury-free year. There is one genuine cushion hiding in the fine print, and it is the sport's best-kept secret: the Tour's retirement program, a deferred compensation machine so generous that long, quiet, unremarkable careers can mature into 8-figure pensions. The 40th best player of his generation may retire wealthier, relative to his fame, than any athlete alive. The mini-tour player, meanwhile, has no pension, no floor, and no fine print. His retirement plan is the same as his business plan: play better. And in the middle of all this, quietly, the strangest thing in the history of sports labour happened. The Tour started handing its players equity, ownership. After the Saudi money war blew up every salary norm in golf, the PGA Tour took on outside investors, spun up a commercial company, and granted its members stakes reportedly worth close to $1 billion combined, weighted, of course, toward the stars. The independent contractors became part owners of the circus. Tiger Woods holds a piece of the tour he built. So does the 40th man on the money list. The guy on the Korn Ferry tour holds a suitcase and a Tuesday tea time. The pyramid did not get fairer, it got taller. Which brings us back to our two men, because I want to leave you with the honest arithmetic of this profession. Golf pays worse than any major sport at the median, and better than almost anything on earth at the top. And the cliff between those two facts is about 2 strokes per round wide. 2 strokes separate the man earning 8 figures for finishing 30th from the man losing his backers money in Florida. Nobody in the middle is safe, nobody at the bottom is paid, and everybody at every level wakes up on January 1st as an unemployed independent contractor whose income for the year is a prediction, and they keep coming. That is the wonder of it. Every year, thousands of the best golfers alive pay their entry fees, load the car, and drive toward a pyramid they can see perfectly clearly, because somewhere up there, past the dentist syndicates and the Honda hotels and the $0 Fridays, there is a version of this job where a man taps in from 2 feet and a hospital's worth of money changes hands. The odds are a scandal. The product of those odds is the most watchable sport on earth. If you want to know what this pyramid does to the human beings inside it, the stories are all over this channel. The 9th alternate who drove all night and won a major is a good place to start. And tell me in the comments, honestly, 2 strokes around from the big tour, someone offers to stake your season. Do you take the money and try? I already know. So did they.